want to give you a nice drill to work on your backswing using your shadow. So this is good to use early in the mornings, late in the afternoons, tough to use at high noon. But what I have here is a golf ball on my left hip shadow on the ground there, a golf ball on my right hip shadow on the ground, and one up on my head shadow as a reference point. So at setup, we don't want our hips to drift to the right, and you can see I added some sunlight here on the left between the left ball and my hip. What we want to feel is we can rotate the hips back towards the target, so the right hip's going back to the target. I create a little bit of sun here on the right side of my hip. As we're doing this, now we have the ball marker up top. Is my head drifting too far away from the target? Is it staying stationary, or is it going too much to the target? So as we're doing this, a couple little preferences is you can have your sternum, if I'm set up with a couple degrees of tilt for my 7-iron, we can have this shift all slightly leftwards and bump the ball on the right, but then my hips can relocate back to the left. Or we can feel like we start with a little bit more pressure left and my hips go straight back to the target. So either one of those would work with your golf swing. Either feeling we could drift slightly rightwards, and we're going to take my sternum and hips at the same amount and then turn the hips back to the target. Or do we feel like we're 50-50 set up and my right hip just goes straight back to the target? So either one of those preferences would work for me. So if I throw a golf ball on the ground here, as we're up in the top of the backswing, now we create a little bit of sunlight on the right. It's okay for the head to move just a little bit off this golf ball. We just don't want drastic movements. In the transition, my shadow is going to cover a little bit of that left golf ball. On the way through, that left golf ball is going to be in the middle of my hips, and my head's moved a little bit to the target side of that golf ball where my head started. So here's a quick little shot for you. Setting up 60-40 pressure, that way I can move a little bit to the right and then relocate back to the middle, or 50-50, feeling like it goes just straight back to the middle. Little motion. And as you're holding the finish, you can take a look and say, okay, there's that golf ball in the middle of my hip shadow, and my head's back towards where that head golf ball started. So I haven't moved excessively forward in the golf swing. And if I finish back, here would be finishing kind of back. You can see my hips are in the middle of the golf balls and my head's forward, as opposed to hips being pushed up and under, moving it onto that golf ball, and then feeling like your chest is up to the sky to stay close to where the head golf ball started. So use this drill in helping you with your pivot, getting away from loading too much to the right, because if I go too far right, it's going to be hard to land the golf club back where we need to. If we have a little pressure moving to the right, can we have it recenter sooner? That way we can fall left, collect the golf ball, and arrive in balance on our left foot.